Welcome, Philip. Please take it over. Oh, we are not able to hear.
Oh, sorry, I apologize, sir. Thank you, Shiba, for the invitation. Thank you for all of you guys for the attending. I hope you guys enjoyed this event. My name is Philip. I'm a CRM Analytics and Tableau architect consultant, and I work mainly with data since 2020. And let's learn about CRM Analytics and take a little peek into the these new releases. Okay. Shiba, can you enable me to share my screen, please?
I've just made you the co-host. Yeah.
Okay. Let me share it then. And you can tell me if you guys are seeing my screen right here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can, yeah.
Perfect. So this is my LinkedIn. If any of you guys want to add me as a connection, and feel free to, please. I love to know and getting along lots.
Profile on chat.
Sorry.
Can you please share your profile on chat?
Sure. Yeah, I will. Relax after the presentation. And let's start with CRM Analytics. So what exactly is CRM Analytics? CRM Analytics is Salesforce Analytics Cloud, where you can load your data, transform it, and present it into very actionable and dynamic dashboards. That's the main definition of CRM, right? It's very easy to load data into CRM. For example, here we use the connections to load our data. Here I connected to Salesforce local, this org right here, but I can connect to a different Salesforce org and load data from there to here as well. Also, I'm connected to Google Analytics, but as you can see here in our connectors, we have by default several different connectors to connect and bring your data into CRM Analytics. All of these right here. And you can even output your data. You can even push your data from CRMA to a different system. I think those are 5 systems like Tableau, Amazon S3, Snowflake. There are other 2 that I don't remember, but we can enable these connections in the settings. By default, we have 5 output connections and all of these input connections where you can bring your data into CRMA. And this data can be scheduled to be refreshed automatically. Here with the data sync, we can connect our, so those are our tables right here that you can see, and you can run the data sync only for this object or this table right here, or edit the connection mode, where you can run an incremental sync, a periodic full sync, and the least performatic, but the most accurate data, the full sync. Why is the most accurate? Because do you remember that we have formula fields, for example, in Salesforce? Formula fields are not updated, and once they are updated, they are not tracked by the incremental sync. So if your org has lots of different formula fields, if you use incremental sync, they may not be updated once you run the incremental sync. So I usually recommend using a periodic full sync. That it is an incremental sync, but once a week, I think Friday 10 p.m., your org data is refreshed in a full sync, updating all of your data, including the formula fields, okay? Here is where you can schedule your connections to run. This can be scheduled to refresh your data automatically. You can schedule by minute, by hour, week, or month. Just take in consideration that your data may take a while to load, especially if you have a very, very big amounts of data. So it doesn't make sense you select your data to run every 10 minutes if your sync takes, I don't know, at least 45 minutes to run. You know, you'll be overlapping job schedules one above the other, and you will crash your limits. So the idea here is taking in consideration the time your data takes to load here into CRMA for before scheduling your data, of course, right? Once your objects are scheduled right here, you can use the recipes to create, for example, do you remember in Salesforce that you have, for example, join reports, and you cannot report on data from different objects, different sibling objects from the same parent, but that doesn't have a relationship between each other? Here in the recipes, you can create as many relationships as you want between your objects. You don't have to limit yourself only to 4 different objects like the Salesforce standard reports, right? You can create as many different relationships you can with your data here, and creating 3 different relationships. And you can even create using different join models. You can use the lookup that basically simulates a left join. The only difference is when you change the cardinality of your data. If your most granular is on the left, it works exactly as a left join. But if your most granular is on the right, then it works a little bit differently. The left join, every data professional knows what this is. The right join, the inner join, outer join, and you have also this option, the cross join, that creates a Cartesian product of your data. This is for very specific use cases, and it's very limited. It's not like these ones that you can use. This has, I think, limits of how many values and how many columns you can use to use the cross join functionality. But still, it's a very powerful tool. But why do I need the recipes? The recipes is where you can transform and clean your data to build your data sets. CRMA doesn't create the dashboards based on the data itself, on the sync data itself. It creates based on our data sets, and the recipes are formerly known as, not formerly known, a different product was called Dataflow before, but data flows are discontinued. So we encourage you to start using the recipes from now on and converting all of your data flows into recipes, because Salesforce will not support your data flows anymore. And you can clean, transform, create anything that you want with your data. For example, here we are loading the object, but you can load more. We can load data sets right here. Those are all data sets, but those right here are the Salesforce objects that you can load. You can load the user, the case. We can load the accounts, but not from Salesforce anymore, from our Google Analytics connection. We can bring this data, all this data at once into a single recipe, and then combine it to create a data set. For example, let's transform it. We can use the transform node to use all of these custom formulas, the split, the substring, trimming, white spaces after and before the text fields, custom formulas that you can use. There's now by default. You can even use here the 4 artificial intelligence transformations, the detect sentiment, the predict missing values, time series forecasting, and the clustering analysis. This is used for, well, as the name implies, detect the sentiment of your text, but it is available as for today only for the English language, okay? This one will, as the name implies again, predict your missing values for all your different values in your data set. Suppose that you have, I don't know, a data set with some few missing values. You can use this transformation to predict those missing values based on existing records, something like that, you know. Time series forecasting, where you can create a time series based on your data, right here, you know. And the clustering analysis, this is my favorite, where you use k-means algorithm to combine your data into clusters based on your metrics, on the Euclidean distance between your metrics. You can select all of your numeric values if you want from your object and create clusters based on this. This is a very powerful tool. Think of that like an auto bucketing in a gross way of putting it, but is a auto bucketing where you don't have to bucket your field manually. And in the output connection, you can write your data into a data set, or you can select even an output connection where you can transform all of your data here in the recipes, and then push your data to an outbound system like Snowflake, like we mentioned, or Tableau Cloud. You can transform your data here and then push to Tableau Cloud if you prefer, you know. But here, or a CSV file where you can download it later for backup purposes. But in this recipe, we are using the data set as our output. So now that you look in the recipe and created our data set for our analysis, let's check what can we do with CRM analytics after the data set is created. And this is the power of CRM. Here is the Analytics Studio, where you can create your apps, dashboards, components, models. Models are available for Asset Discovery, and it requires a higher license from CRM. I think it's CRM Analytics Plus. And your data sets. You can also create your data set here with a CSV file. The downside of this is that your data set will not be updated if you do not insert it into a recipe and schedule the recipe to run and update the data set via other rows or something like that, you know. And the app in CRM is like our reports and dashboards folders into Salesforce. They determine which person will have access to the data and to the dashboard itself. For example, if you have an app right here, let's browse our apps right here. My private app, this is the app like my private folder. You can insert all of your data sets, lenses. Lenses is a widget of a dashboard, a simple visualization, while a dashboard is a combination of different visualizations. But you can combine all within your app and then give access of the not the private app, but a different app, and then we would give access to that app to your different users from and outside Salesforce. For example, if you have a customer license or partner users with different licenses assigned to them, you can also share in the Experience Cloud with these users the dashboards. Okay. But they require at least one Salesforce license, like I think it's Customer Community Plus and the partner license. Okay. And if you share the app without the dashboard or the data set, the user will not be able to access the data. Suppose that you insert your data set into the Street Fighter app, for example, that I'm going to show you right away. And then you insert the Street Fighter data set into a different app. It doesn't share this app with the user. Once the user accesses the dashboard, he or she will have an error because he needs access to both the dashboard and the data set to see the data, not just one of them. Okay, this is very important for you guys to remember when we are creating your CRM analytics data model and assets different sharing. Okay. Now let's take a look what CRM analytics can do with dashboards. Here's a very simple dashboard that I built with Brazil's map. This is the Brazil's opportunity map. Why is this special? Because CRM analytics allows you to create custom map files with GeoJSON files. They don't have the Brazil map by default, all of the of Brazil city by default in CRM. I created this dashboard by uploading custom GeoJSON maps. This is a very cool functionality of CRM analytics that you can, as you can see, another cool functionality, like I mentioned, you can filter the dashboard just by clicking on the other widgets bars. This is called faceting, by the way. If I click on the São Paulo, this is my state, it will filter by the state of São Paulo, changing my my map, my cities, and my highest and lowest amounts for our chart markers right here. The same thing for Rio de Janeiro. Let's change the map to Rio de Janeiro. It will display, this is the state of Rio, not the city of Rio, the most famous place from Brazil. And this is the city of Itatiaia, the highest amount, and the same thing for all other states. This is state of Santa Catarina. And if unclick, it will display the whole dashboard again, the map of Brazil. As you can see, it takes a while to load this. Why? Because this GeoJSON file is very heavy. It has all single one cities of Brazil, all the cities of Brazil. So as it has so many points, it may take a little while to load once the data. So the idea behind this chart, it would be not to use as a full city map, but rather more like a state map or region map. It will be much more performatic, right? And you can also filter your data. Let's see only the closed won opportunities. Now our data has been filtered and our dashboard has changed. So that's the power of CRM. Another thing very, very powerful is this, the dynamic table, for example. It's a dashboard that I created to illustrate exactly the problem that we have in Salesforce default reports and dashboards. The join report, where you cannot report on different objects based on the same parent. For example, we have here we have accounts, contacts, and opportunities, all related, cases, contacts, and opportunities are related to the same account. We cannot build a report like this into Salesforce standard reports, but you can build in CRM Analytics. You can combine all of the three data. Here we're seeing the counts of opportunities, the counts of contacts, and the counts of cases. And if you click on the bar, it will display, oh, these are all my opportunities for the account tree. But if I click here, it will change to all my cases of account tree. And the columns have changed. Now I see case data. And now I see contact data. So I'm seeing three different objects data into a single report dynamically and very fast. This is very, very powerful and useful to get data-driven insights much more faster, much more accurate, you know. It may be as not real time as the Salesforce standard reports, but it has much more dynamicity and much more flexibility regarding the actions. Here in CRMA, you can actually perform actions. You can update your records. You can send emails. You can trigger record flows. Yes, you can trigger flows here from CRM Analytics dashboards. This is very, very cool and very powerful, guys. Another example of the dashboards that I created here is the Scuderia Ferrari, where you can see the, for example, clicking on the chart, on the car, you can see the car data, the acceleration, the top speed, and you can even see the comparison, 50% above average and 5% below average in top speed. And let's compare it with this model, the Tributo Spider, or the Stradale Spider. And you can even check the car data, and you have also the actions to create links of the dashboard. If you click here, it will open a link to a site showing this car, the very same car that we are seeing right here. Those are very powerful features that we have within CRM Analytics. And CRM Analytics is also so very flexible that you can even create a dashboard called the Street Fighter, the one that I created very, very long time ago, but it was just an experiment to see how far I could push CRM Analytics, right? For example, you can pick your fighters, like here, your player 1 or the player 2, and compare their attributes into a single metric radar chart. This chart is not very used into CRMA. This is why I also a motive that I think, oh, I should create a dashboard that utilizes the metric radar chart, and fighting comparison attribute dashboard would be a very good use case for it, right? And if you hover the fighters, you can see by implementing a dashboard component within the tooltip, you can see the special attack of the fighter. This is a dashboard within a dashboard that we are seeing right here. The same for Akuma. It will change from Blanca's special tag to Akuma. And the same for all other users. Let's pick Dawson, for example, and Cami. It will display Cami special tag and Dawson's as well. And with the rank analysis, this is one of the coolest things that I have created, because you can see the cumulative sum of all Python's attributes based on the metrics right here, but you can also see by a single metric. And this is imagine that you are seeing your account revenues or your opportunity revenues by type or something like that, where you could see the sum of total, but also drill down into the highest and the lowest per different attributes. This is very powerful and very dynamic, as you can see, very performatic. And this is the power of CRM. And of course, Shiba, feel free to stop me in case I am taking too much time, okay? But I would like to show you this. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but can you hear the sound?
No, we can't hear.
No problem. Okay. I just wanted to show you this because you can see that you can query Salesforce Data Cloud data directly from your CRM Analytics dashboard. You click Create Query, and once you have your Data Cloud assigned, here you will see your Data Cloud option to create from your data lake objects or your data model objects or your calculated insights. So with CRMA, you can even access Data Cloud data. You don't have to connect and load it again into CRMA. Since your data is already loaded into Data Cloud, here you only have to query it directly from CRMA. We're using SQL right here. He's going to show you right here. He's querying the object, and then he can use the SQL right here to create a custom query and generate a visualization directly from your Data Cloud data directly into CRMA. This is very, very cool and powerful. So you even have access to your Data Cloud data by default. Okay, I won't have here in my org because I don't have Salesforce Data Cloud. But if I had, I would have prepared something like that to show you guys how can you query CRMA data directly from your Data Cloud, directly from CRMA. Sorry. And let's talk a little bit, take a little peek of the new releases of these, the new releases of the CRM Analytics. The first one here, we're seeing a lens where we have our waterfall chart. If we change here, we can see all the different charts that we can create with CRM Analytics, all of them. And here I'm picking the waterfall chart. And now, what's the new release? Is that you can use conditional formatting for the charts, for this specific chart. Before, we could only use these four colors right here. Oh, the positive is green, the negative is red, and the start and end are blue. Now we can select and pick different values for all of our bars if you want, and change it right here based on demand. This is pretty straightforward, as you can see, but it's very powerful because lots of people like to use waterfall charts to display the pipeline changes between the months, between the days, right? And sometimes they want to use only green for their one and red for all the other values, something like that. Here, now you can do it with your waterfall chart custom conditional formatting that you can apply. And the other difference that you can see is the other release, sorry, is now you can embed the CRM analytics connections into collections into Lightning record pages. But first of all, what is a collection? Do you remember that I mentioned that we have apps where you can store our dashboards, our lenses, and our data sets within that's true, and the apps determine the access of these assets within CRM analytics. But a collection is like it's like a way to organize your assets in a way that you can access it more easily. You know, it doesn't determine the access of these assets right here, but it determines it groups it in a way that's more easy for you to find your dashboards and lenses that you are looking for. So you can group your data. For example, let's create a collection for the East region visualizations. So the East region users go only to find dashboards and visualizations on the East regions. It doesn't determine the access of the data, but it groups it in a way that's more easy for them to find it. Okay, and now you can embed your collections into your Lightning pages. Before you could only do this with with CRM Analytics dashboards, but now you can embed it into your collections within your Lightning record pages. This is the histogram dashboard that I created to group our data based on our values to see the distribution of your data, right? And I am accessing it via our collection in a Lightning record page. Pretty cool, huh? I think that's it for today's presentation, guys. I hope you guys liked it. I tried to cover all the topics regarding CRM analytics, and I know that it was a little bit in a hurry because we have so much to discuss about it. But I'll be happy to take any questions after Vartika's presentation. And also, I'd like to share with you guys this really quickly. If you guys want to learn more about CRM analytics, you can learn by here. This playlist is a complete training on the platform. From the beginning, the data loading, etc., until the instant discovery prediction models. You can do all of this here in YouTube. It's available only in English, but if you guys understand English very well, and I assume you do, you can check on this Trouble CRM training that I'm going to paste it on our chat right here. Give me a second in the chat. Okay. There you go.
Anita is nodding her head and she's going to do the whole playlist, right, Anita?
I didn't understand. Can you speak a little closer to the microphone?
Yeah, no, nothing too much. He was just joking about that all of us are definitely going to do it. It's contribution. Yeah, the playlist.
I hope you guys liked it.
Yeah.
It helped me to learn a lot about CRM, guys. Understand the concepts, how to build dashboards, how to understand the data, the core foundation, and why CRM is so valuable, right? The action parts of the dashboards is one of my favorites. Like Vartika is going to explain a little bit about how can you share and collaborate more with the dashboards, and you see that's the true power of CRM, right? Because we all seen lots of very powerful BI tools, BI functionalities like Tableau itself or Power BI, but CRM allows you to take this to another step and create a very actionable dashboard. Okay. And like I said, thank you again for the invitation, Shiba. And I'll be happy to answer any questions of you guys after the presentation.
Yeah, thanks very much, Philip. It was excellent presentation. And just to summarize for the summer 24 release, CRM Analytics, basically, I've already shared the link, but but basically what Philip shared was analytics visualization and sharing, analytics data integration, and CRM analytics development, right, Philip?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Correct.
this is all part of the summer 24 release, and so that's what we covered. And Vratika will now take it over, and she will cover the much sought after topic, which is Slack, how to post your CRM analytics to Slack and the Slack integration with CRM analytics. So that was something I requested, and I saw her wonderful articles on Medium. So that's how I found her. And so I'll let her take it over. Ratika, can you first start with your introduction and then continue with the topic?
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Shiva. And thanks, Philip. Loved the dashboards, especially the Street Fighter dashboard. It was amazing. So,
Glad you like.
of course. And speaking a little about myself, I'm a Salesforce developer with around 3.5 years of experience, and I primarily work on CRM analytics. I live in Hyderabad, India, and I work for S&P Global. So this is my LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me, I'll share you the link later in the chat. And before I start my presentation, I also want to point out that I do have some blogs written on what I would be presenting right now. So there is a Medium blog that I have written about the integration of CRM analytics with Slack. So if you want some detailed presentation on that, you can go through the blog if you'd like. So let me start now with my presentation.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yep. Please let me know if you can see my screen. So I would be covering the part where we talk about the integration of CRM analytics with Slack. So as of summer 24, now we are able to integrate CRM analytics with Slack and post dashboards or lenses directly from Salesforce to Slack. So we can post our dashboards either from Analytics Studio or from our Lightning pages directly to Slack, and that enables us to very seamlessly collaborate with our team on Slack and make data-driven decisions. So before I speak about how we can integrate our CRM analytics with Slack, let me just show you a glimpse of how posting a dashboard on Slack may look like. So right now I am on a Salesforce Lightning page. So if you can see, this is a home page. And on the utility bar, I have embedded a dashboard. So this is a sales performance dashboard, which is actually an analytics item or an analytics dashboard. And to get a better view of this, let me just open this in Analytics Studio. Yep. So this here is our dashboard. Now, if you can see, sorry, sorry about that. If you can see on the right top of the navigation, we have post to Slack. So this is the option that we are going to use to post a dashboard or a lens to Slack. Let me just click on this. It asks for some basic information like what our Slack workspace is and on which channel do we want to post. So as of now, we can post only to Slack channels and not to DMs. So let me just select a channel here. And if we want, we can add some small comment to go with the dashboard. Yep. So again, you also have an option to choose whether you want to show an image preview of your dashboard on Slack or not. Right now, I have chosen to show an image preview. So let me just post my dashboard to Slack. And we have a success notification. Looks like this is posted. So let's just check out our Slack channel. So right now I am on Slack. If you can see, I am on a channel called as APAC Sales Team. It's the same channel that I had chosen on my CRM Analytics dashboard, and I wanted to post here. So if you can see on this channel, the dashboard with the message got posted on my Slack channel. So it says, hey, check out this dashboard, what I wrote. And we can see an image preview or a snapshot of our dashboard. So this allows us to post directly to Slack so that we can collaborate with our team, discuss about the dashboard, and make important decisions, business decisions based on this dashboard. Now that we have seen what the dashboards in Slack may look like, let us go back and see how we can set up a connection with Slack. Okay, so to set up Slack for CRM analytics, first thing is we have to go to Salesforce setup and we have to enable Slack. We need to have Slack license for the users who are trying to access it. We also need to enable CRM analytics for Slack. And once we have that permission, we are good to use Slack. Now, if we are trying to access CRM analytics on Slack specifically, of course, we also need a license of CRM analytics for our users. So they need to have a user or an admin license. Now, once that is done, we need to go to Slack and we need to install the app. Let me just show you what this may look like. So on Salesforce setup, we have an option to enable Slack and work on it. So this is the Slack setup. We have to undertake a couple of steps and then enable all the apps that are required. So if you see the number of apps here, it also includes CRM analytics for Slack. This is something we are going to leverage for our functionality here. And once all this is set up, once the user permissions are set up, we are good to use CRM analytics for Slack. So then we can directly go to Slack and download the app from there. So right now I am on Slack and we can go to the Slack app directory. And here we have an app called the CRM Analytics. Usually, if you haven't downloaded it, you would get an option to add it. But since I have already added it, you just see it as an app for me. So if you go to this app, you can add it to your Slack and you can connect it to your Salesforce environment so that it is ready to use, right? So this is about setting up CRM Analytics for Slack. Now that we have discussed the basic setup, let us also see what features we are trying to cover today. So I'll be covering three of the major features of CRM Analytics for Slack. And these are post and share, browse and search, and stay updated. Post and share, we just saw that we can post our dashboards very seamlessly to Slack and we can collaborate with our team. Now it can be done in other ways as well, and we look into that. And we also have an option to browse and search our analytics resources, our lenses and dashboards in Slack using some Slack commands. And after that, we have a very important feature, which is to stay updated of our dashboards in Slack without having to go to Salesforce. So that would be using our dashboard notifications and subscriptions. So let us look at these features one by one in detail. Okay, so first, speaking of posting to Slack and collaborating with team. So we just saw an example of how we can post to Slack, but there is more to that. We can post to Slack with or without a snapshot. So if you remember, when I demonstrated that to you, I had chosen that I want to see an image preview. So if you don't choose to have an image preview, it would be posting without a snapshot. And that comes with a bunch of quick actions. So then you would be able to view your item details, view a snapshot, download your dashboard as a PDF, and open that item in Salesforce using a link. And let's look at these quick actions and posting without an image preview. Okay, so again, I am on the same dashboard. Now, let's post to Slack again, this time without an image preview. So again, I'll enter the name of my Slack workspace and a Slack channel where I want to post. maybe a small message. Okay, this time let's choose not to have an image preview. So this is what our message would look like. I'm going to post this. It is posted. Now let's navigate to Slack. Okay, so we are on our app, and yeah, this is the channel. Now, if you see the difference between how we posted last time and this time, last time this was your dashboard, there was a snapshot, and there was the message that you had posted. Now that you have posted without an image preview, you have four quick actions to select from. The first one is view snapshot. Let me just click on this for you. Okay, so it says that a snapshot is generating. Whenever it is generated, I would be able to see it on this app in the messages section. And here it is. Here is the snapshot that we had requested for. You can zoom it and see it. Now, let me go back to my channel and see the other options that we had. So we also have an option to view details, right? So what does that mean? So if I say view details, it lets me perform a bunch of quick actions again. So let's focus on the first action here, which is share. So when we share a dashboard here, what happens is you get an option to share the same dashboard to maybe another channel or to other people via DMs. So let me click on share. And I had posted last time in this channel, right? APEC sales team. So let me post in general or in this. And then again, I can choose to have a message. And I can choose whether I want to include an image or a snapshot or not. So I am including because it looks good. So okay, let's just share it and then we'll see if it got posted or not. Okay, so looks like it is posted. You can see it in the app and you can also see it here because I had posted in this channel. So you can see that with my message, the dashboard is posted and I had included to show the image preview as well. So you can see an image. So this was about sharing the dashboard directly to Slack. We also have an option to download as PDF and subscribe, and I'm going to talk about this a little later. So let's just look at the other features that we were trying to understand. Okay, so next part is to browse and search analytics. But before I speak about how we can browse and search analytics in Slack, let's also discuss how we can do it in Salesforce. So let me just quickly go to Analytics Studio once. So this is our Analytics Studio homepage, as Philip had shown you. And you can see we have an option to browse here. So anything that you write with a keyword, it will show you the result. So let me just write sales here. And it will show me all the result with that keyword. It could be a lens, a data set, an app, or a dashboard, anything. And again, we have our favorite resources. So any dashboard or any lens that I have marked as favorite. And how do you mark it as favorite? So when I open a dashboard, I have this little star on the top of the dashboard. And if I want to mark it as favorite, I can do it from here. So that makes it a little easier for me to access these dashboards later because they are more important to me and they're my favorite. Okay, so then you have your list of favorites on the homepage here. And you also have an option to look at the recent resources. So these are the things I had recently opened. So you also see the recent list of analytics items on your Analytics Studio page. Now that we've seen how we can browse and search our analytics resources in Salesforce, let's also see how we can do this in Slack. Okay, so now again, I'm in my Slack channel. You can do this in any of your channel or even in this app. It's up to you. So let me just try this in the Slack channel. So we can use some simple commands that come with the CRM Analytics app when we download it in Slack. So first, I am going to show you how we can search for a component with a keyword. Okay, so I added the command called analytics search, but I also need to add a keyword so that we know what we're trying to search, right? So let me add sales here. So this is the result that shows up. This is some of the analytics resources that come up when we try to search by the keyword sales. There would be more. So if you want to get a bigger list, you can just click on open in Salesforce, and that would lead you to the homepage of Analytics Studio, where you have searched by this keyword. And if this search suffices for you, and if these are the resources you are looking for, you also have some options to perform few actions on them. So you can again view details as we had seen earlier. You can view a snapshot, you can share on another channel or with people, you can subscribe to it, about which we'll speak in some time, and you can download this dashboard as a PDF. If you are trying to share your dashboard in Slack with others, you need to remember that the dashboard, though loads with your own access, whatever row level access you have, when you share it, it will share again with your access, not necessarily with the access of the person you're sharing with. So you need to be a little careful about what data you're trying to share within Slack. You need to remember that the access or the security only applies when analytics is loading data into Slack. And once it's loaded, it's your responsibility that you share it with people who should have access to it. Okay, so this is about searching. And then let's also look into getting our favorites and some of the recent analytics. So again, let me enter a command. So you can see there's a command called analytics favorites. I'm going to try this. Okay, so this gives me the list of favorites that I had on my Analytics Studio. So if you remember, when I showed you my favorites tab there, it showed me 4 components, and these are the same 4 components. I can also see my recently viewed components. So these are the recently viewed analytics items, dashboards, or lenses. And this is how we can very easily access our analytics resources within Slack and even share it with our team and very easily collaborate with others. Now that we have discussed about the collaboration, let's talk about how we can stay up to date with our dashboard data on Slack. Okay, so now we will be talking about the dashboard subscriptions and notifications within Slack. But before I speak about seeing the subscriptions and notifications on Salesforce or in Slack, let me quickly tell you what subscriptions and notifications do. So subscriptions in Salesforce would be like if you have some very important chart or some very important metric that you want to monitor frequently from time to time, then you can just say, hey, that I want to see it weekly every Monday at 8 p.m. Then it'll send you an email with the latest or the most recent state of your dashboard after the most recent refresh, right? So that is your subscription, and it'll help you stay up to date with whatever data is there in the lens or the metric that is important to you. And what is a notification? Let's say there is a criteria that you have set, maybe that your opportunity amount has reached a certain limit. Whenever that criteria has met, you want to be notified, and you can set again a frequency and time for that. So let's say I want to be notified on my lens whenever the criteria is met, whenever the amount is over maybe $100,000. Then I can choose to get notifications via mail and also on Salesforce. And that would again be based on the frequency and time that you choose. Maybe again Monday 8 p.m. or you can choose it daily or a couple of days a week. So you have the say in how often you want to see that. Now that we have some basic idea of what subscriptions and notifications are, let us look at them in Salesforce first. Okay, So I am going to go to the same dashboard again. And okay, let me choose this chart. So you see there's an option here to subscribe. So this is how we subscribe to any lenses or metric on the CRM analytics side in Salesforce. So when I click subscribe, it asks me for some basic information around the time and around, sorry, I think I've already said it for that. Okay. Yeah, around time or around frequency, and we need to give that information. Yeah, I think I already chose it for this dashboard. That's why you can see Monday, Saturday, 8 a.m. Anyway, so this is the ones that are highlighted are the ones on which we have subscription. I can try to go on another dashboard and show you how it works, or I can show it to you from here. We have subscriptions even on our homepage. And I have set a subscription for maybe this chart. And you can also arrange them in an order, edit them, and choose like how often you want to have subscriptions. So I've already chosen that I want to see it on these particular days. So you seeing that I have chosen to get them weekly on Monday and on Saturday at 8 a.m. Maybe I can choose one more day and then I can save it and run it. So that will make sure that I'm getting these updates every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at AM, and it will just give me the most recent or up-to-date version of those lenses in the dashboard. So this is about subscriptions, and we also have notifications in our system. So any notifications that we create within Salesforce, you can see here. So I have already created 2 notifications, and that you're able to see. The first one checks the amount against 100 million, and the second one checks it whether the amount is greater than or equal to 50 million. So it shows you using a reference line here, and how you can create it is, again, you can just go here and set a notification and give the criteria that you want. So maybe the sum of total price equals a certain value, and when that criteria is met, then you are requesting to get a notification. So you can choose at what time you want it and at what frequency, and you can also choose more recipients. So let's say you want some other team member of your team also to get these notifications. So you can again choose the recipients here. You can just name the person and then save and run it. And that's how you would get notifications, and any notifications that you set in the system, you can see it here, right? So this is how you can set notifications and subscriptions on the Salesforce side. Now let me go to Slack and show you how we can do these things within Slack. So one thing I would like to highlight is that when we subscribe to things in Slack, it's to get these messages or updates within Slack. When we import notifications to Slack, it's to get the notifications in Slack and not necessarily by mail that we were already doing via Salesforce, right? So let's now get into creating and editing and deleting these subscriptions or looking at the notifications as well. So if you remember, we had this quick action menu where we saw an option to subscribe. So let's just look at this. So this will enable me to subscribe to this dashboard that I had accessed. So let me just choose 2 days maybe, and then I can choose a time, any random time. So I'll choose 12 p.m. and I have chosen to send this to myself. We can also choose some group. So let me also send it to the general Slack channel. And I can choose whether I want to send a snapshot or not. Again, be careful when you select to show a snapshot, because things that you have access to and you show a snapshot of, people also see it. So if they do not have access to it, but you share a snapshot with them, they still will see the things that they don't have access to. So be careful with that. Okay, so I select not to include an image for now. Okay, so this tells that you'll receive an alert when the subscription is delivered, which will happen at that time that you have chosen for the subscriptions. So this is how you can create a subscription in Slack. And now let's look at how to manage these subscriptions. So I'm going to enter this command. You can see it's CRM subscriptions. So it'll give me the list of subscriptions that I have created within Slack, not within Salesforce, but within Slack. Okay, so these are the two snapshots that I have created. Now you have an option to either edit them or delete them. So if I go and edit them, you can see I have an option to edit either the day or the time or even the recipients of it, or whether I want to see an image or not. So you can make all those changes. Right? And then you can post it, and that would be the newer updated version of your subscriptions. Now you also have an option to delete your subscriptions, which again is from the same command. So this has loaded your Slack subscriptions again. If you look at the menu, you also have an option to delete from here. So if you click delete, it'll just stop your Slack subscriptions. Now, one thing to note is that when you delete a subscription from Slack, it will not delete your subscription in CRM Analytics. The two things are different, and deleting it on Slack will only delete it from Slack and not from Salesforce. Those emails will still keep running if they're there, right? So this is all about getting subscriptions and timely updates of your important lenses or metrics of CRM Analytics. Now look at the notifications. So there is this command called CRMA notifications, which we can use to import our notifications. If you've already imported them, it'll just show you the list, but otherwise it'll just ask you, it'll give you a prompt that, do you want to import your notifications? You say yes, and it'll just move all your Salesforce notifications in here so that you can get the messages on Slack as well. Now, yeah, you can say that it is similar to creating a notification in Slack. The way we create a notification in Slack is by importing them from Salesforce. So these are the imported ones. Now, if I want to edit it, okay. So I can add more recipients to it. That would mean that for the notification that I have, more than one person wants to get this update. So I can also try to add it to more channels or team members who may be interested in this notification. So I can just save this. Yep. And that would let you see the notifications. Let me just quickly see if I have any here so that you can look at them. Yeah, you can see this is an example of a subscription that I had created. It's of a Lightning dashboard, but this is kind of how it works. And this is a notification. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So it says that the condition that I had set were met. So I had set a condition that the opportunity amount should be greater than or equal to this value, 50 millions, right? And the current value is 53 point something millions. So the condition is met, and that's why I am getting a notification at the time and the day of the week that I had set. So that's why I received a notification with a snapshot of the lens on which I had sent the notification. And this is how the analytics updates look like in form of a notification. If your condition is not met for a week or a day, you will not get that notification on the lens. It only works when the criteria that you've set is met. In my case, when the amount is greater than 50 millions, right? Now, again, just like subscription, when you delete a notification from Slack, it does not delete the notification from CRM Analytics. the CRM analytics would still have that notification, and you will still get the email prompts and the Salesforce notifications. When the criteria is met, it will just stop giving you Slack notifications or pings. So this is how we can get timely updates on our data, and when we have timely updates on our data and are able to share that with our team, we can make very good data-driven decisions and take actions, right? So this is what I wanted to share with you regarding the Summer 24 release, integration with Slack. And I'm open to any questions. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or ping on chat. And over to you, Shiva.
Sorry, Vartika, can you also cover the utility bar if you can?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Just give me a moment.
And anyone who has any questions on what was presented, please feel free to post in the chat so we can cover those questions.
Yep. Please let me know if you can see my screen again.
Yep.
So first, when I had started the presentation, if you remember, I had opened this dashboard from utility bar. So that's the first thing that we want to see, that, okay, we can embed a dashboard in our utility bar, right? And also in our Lightning pages. So yeah, you can see that we have embedded a dashboard here. Now now let's look at how we can do that and what details do we need to add. So right now I am in the app builder, and I will go to or navigate to the utility items, and this is the dashboard that I have created. So we need to add some basic details like the panel width and height that we want to have on our page for this component, and then what should be the height of our dashboard, like the overall height of our dashboard. And we need to choose the dashboard from the list of dashboards in CRM Analytics. So I have chosen this one. We also have an option to have dashboard filters. So maybe if you want to show only for some filters, maybe for some accounts or some business units or some territories, you can always put that filter while placing the dashboard, and that would appear here. And you also have options to choose what menu you have at the top of the dashboard. So I have chosen to have a share icon, to have a post to Slack icon, and a title and header, and to have this open an Analytics Studio button. And this is what it looks like basically. So if I go to my utility bar and open this dashboard, you can see that these are the options that I had chosen to see. So there is an option to post to Slack, right? And there is a share button because we had chosen to have it. And we can also see notifications, we can see subscriptions, and an option to open this whole dashboard in Analytics Studio. So this is totally depending upon how you have configured it and what all options you want in your menu. You can choose not to have a post to Slack button if you don't need it. You can choose not to have a share icon if you don't want people to download it or share it in any way. So it's totally up to you, and you can just save your changes, and that should appear here. Okay, so if you can see now, the Slack button is gone. The share button is also gone because we just deselected that. Now let me just go back here and show you. Here you have an option to choose a CRM Analytics dashboard, right? So I forgot to tell you that this is where we start from. We choose a CRM Analytics dashboard, and then we decide which dashboard we want to see. So let me just put some other dashboard here, maybe opportunities dashboard. What do we want to call it on our utility bar? Okay, and the length, width of it, height of your dashboard, and the same basic menu options. So when you make that selection, the dashboard appears on your utility. So this is the one that I had just created, which is smaller because the width and the height was smaller. So this is basically how you can show your dashboards on utility bar. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. That's the latest and greatest because I've seen some sample, presentations where they had that, and I was like, this is something we can learn from for sure. Anyone else has any questions? Please feel free to chime in.
Very cool presentation. Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. You have any questions?
Question from you, you're here. Have you used CRM before?
So yeah, let's first ask everyone, have you used CRMA in your work? This is the first introduction to it? Okay. Yeah, hopefully we will take off from here. And yeah, we have Lucas here too. Lucas, hi. Hi, Lucas, nice to see you.
Are you on mute? Oh,
How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
so you still in Tahoe, Lucas?
Sorry?
Sunil is asking if you are still in Tahoe.
Yes, I'm still in Tahoe.
Good.
Tahoe dreaming.
Good. You're supposed to be here, so Lucas is supposed to be here, so you just like got
Yes,
stuck.
yeah, I couldn't make it on time, so I had to, so now I just drove back. I
No,
pulled over for the first part of the meeting.
no worries at all.
So does anyone have the, oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, that was just me, being more in the spirit of what's happening around us, the Olympics. Anyway. So anyone has any questions? Lucas, you have any questions? We are all very new to this topic, but do you find something new or something that you would like to add to?
Anything to add to this? I mean, look, I think both presentations were really complete, and I thought they were really well done. I had seen most of these already, so I don't have anything new to add to it. So, but I think it's really important. I want to reemphasize, right, the utilization of being able to make analytics incorporated to the communications of the company, the ability to take actions on that. Once you start linking those things together, what you do get is an automated function of when something happens, you get asynchronous productivity on top of data, and that's really taking data to action, and that's a really, really important thing that they just, really simply and succinctly displayed, right? So I just want to highlight that. But I think it was really good. So nothing new, just shape what they showed.
Thanks so much for your input, yeah, and just put you on the spot. So thanks for playing along. So yeah.
And also, I guess that's what happens is once you have that kind of connectivity with Slack, and that's what Varshika sort like. First of all, is the both presentations are great in two different ways. First of all, you need to know how to make a dashboard and the right dashboard. And once you have the right dashboard, how we talk to people and how we talk as teams to see and discuss what's there in the dashboards. So that's why, and basically Slack is call it the digital HQ and all the stuff, and people can start talking about it even more. So it's much better that way, right? Anita, I see you nodding your head. Why don't you unmute and you can also participate this, at least you're here virtually. Yeah, we'd love to see you here personally, but you're still in San Ramon.
If anybody wants, I can definitely get it off recording and
Yeah, let's remove the recording out kind of thing.
yeah, stop the recording.
I was